you to the annual town meeting. Call the annual town meeting to order. The first thing we must do is to elect a moderator of this evening's proceedings. I would call for a motion to have Attorney Tom McGarry be our moderator for this evening.
I'll second.
Any discussion on it? Other nominations? Seeing none, all in favor of Attorney McGarry, say aye.
Aye.
And any audience on the phone can say aye as well. Deafening. All right, motion carried.
Aye.
Very good. Attorney McGarry, would you please take
All right,
over?
I would call on the town clerk to read the call of the meeting.
I'll move to waive the reading of the item regarding the Affordable Housing Commission due to its length.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Kelsey to...
Second.
I have it seconded as well. All right.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Aye.
carried.
Aye. Warning of Town of Old Lyme 2021 Annual Town Business Meeting. Electors and citizens eligible to vote in town meeting and all interested persons are hereby warned that the annual town business meeting will be held on Monday, January 25th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. in the Old Lyme Town Hall Meeting Hall, 52 Lime Street, Old Lyme, Connecticut. The meeting will be conducted as a hybrid, as defined by the Governor's Executive Order 9H. Instructions for attendance in person and remotely are stated at the end of this warning and are posted on the Town of Old Lyme website at www.oldlyme-ct.gov. The meeting will consider and act upon the following business items. 1, to announce the recipient of the Board of Selectmen's Citizens of the Year for 2020. 2, to accept the annual town report for the fiscal year July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020, as submitted by the Board of Finance. 3, to consider and vote on the following proposed ordinance to establish the Town of Old Lyme Affordable Housing Commission as set forth in the call of the meeting. Be it ordained by the Town of Old Lyme, Connecticut, that Section 41-2 of the Old Lyme Code of Ordinances, the designation of a town polling place shall be amended as follows. Materials in parentheses is to be deleted from the existing text and underlying material is to be added. The, in parentheses, Cross Lane Firehouse on Cross Lane will be deleted. Old Lyme Middle School Gymnasium, 53 Lime Street, Old Lyme, Connecticut will be added. And it is hereby designated as a municipal polling place for all purposes. B, this ordinance amendment shall be effective 15 days after the date of publication of notice of its passage per Connecticut General Statute, Section 7-157A, dated at Old Lyme, Connecticut, this 14th day of January 2021. Town of Old Lyme Board of Selectmen, Timothy C. Griswold, First Selectman. Christopher W. Kerr, Selectman. Mary Jo Nozel, Selectwoman.
Thank you. We'll proceed to the first item on the agenda to announce the recipient of the Citizen of the Year for 2020.
Very good. Well, this is usually one of the most enjoyable parts of a town meeting, and this year will be the same. I would like to read the citation, and then we can proceed from there. This year's awardee was selected for his dedication and commitment to numerous local nonprofit organizations. I received 9 letters of recommendation for this person's nomination, and the Board of Selectmen is very pleased to announce that Roger M. Smith has been selected as the Town of Old Lyme 2020 Citizen of the Year. Roger has been a visionary who inspires those around him to do their best and to see beyond their self-limiting expectations. He volunteers with several nonprofit organizations and has been described as one of the world's best listeners. Incidentally, I asked his wife if that was true because we had an earlier ceremony at his house because we didn't know how it would pan out, whether he'd be comfortable in coming. And she assured me it's true. Someone who was unafraid to ask the hard questions, a humble leader who will take on any task that will further the mission of the organization, and someone who is forward-thinking, seeing problems and opportunities before others. High Hopes, where Roger has volunteered for over 30 years, describes him as an individual with a vision who is always prepared to ask hard questions in a manner that provokes constructive thought and facilitates growth. His quiet, supportive leadership has been key in creating an inclusive environment for the organization. These sentiments are echoed by the Phoebe Griffin Noyes Library, who believe that Roger's greatest strength as a volunteer and board member is that he is grounded in his belief in people and their capacity to work together to make the world a bigger, brighter, and more inclusive place. Roger is not someone that merely talks about taking action. He consistently and tirelessly works to make things happen. His involvement in the library expansion has been significant, and generations will reap the benefits of the updated building. Lastly, the First Congregational Church, where Roger has served in several leadership capacities, describes Roger as someone who was willing to take on responsibility that others may avoid. As a member of the church for over 30 years, Roger helps wherever it is needed, including transporting the family pony, Neil, to Christmas Eve services to be in the living manger. Roger's faith beams with joy as he makes sure every child has had a chance to get to know Nell. A true leader is someone who inspires, listens, challenges others gently yet firmly, and believes he is not above any task. Roger has proven himself to be a gift to the ORM communities through his selfless devotion to volunteerism, and it is our great honor to recognize him as our 2020 Citizen of the Year. So we are very pleased that Roger, we have a very handsome certificate for Roger, and if Roger might come, we did this before, but we could maybe in front of the camera here, and we have this very neat banner. Chris, if you get on that side, get double use out of it. I noticed. Yeah. Isn't there a show about the mask, something? No, wait, this is terrific, and we're extremely pleased.
Take my mask
if you're okay with it. Yeah.
I'm comfortable if everybody else is.
Yeah. Good. Well, I asked them where Nell is, and I guess Nell is not with us anymore.
It's Neil.
Oh,
He's a boy,
ah,
not a girl.
is he still with us?
No, Neil is no longer.
I had to put up the volume, but
He lived a long life.
Did you keep him up the property?
Oh, yeah, we had him, we had him on the property in line. We didn't have him in the property in no line. No. Neil had left us before that.
Oh, boy.
But he lived,
Roger, I think.
he lived to be about 30 years old.
Well, horses live a long
Yeah,
time.
he was
Yeah,
strong-eyed.
good for you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for all these years, and I'm hoping you will continue.
I'm sure hoping so. And no question about that. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. A very nice honor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll proceed to the second item on the agenda, which is to...
You may. You're the Citizen of the Year. You can do what you want.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Will be.
Okay, we will proceed to item 2, accept the annual town report for the fiscal year, July 1, 2019 to June 30, 2020, as submitted by the Board of Finance. David?
Paul, as Chair of the Board of Finance, I'll move to accept the annual report, 2019-2020, as recommended by the Board of Finance of the Town of Old Lyme.
Is there a second?
Second.
You have the floor.
I have the floor. Well, I think we had a very, very successful year given all of the challenges, that's for sure. And I thank everyone who contributed their time throughout the past year. The report that is before us physically here in Town Hall is available in Town Hall and will be, I think this year we probably got 700 copies, fewer than we typically do. But it is the work of many folks here in Town Hall, and we thank everyone who's contributed to it. And with that, I'll open it up to further discussion.
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, we'll proceed. All those in favor of acceptance, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Thank you very much.
We'll proceed to item 3, to consider and vote on the following proposed ordinance to establish Town of Old Lyme Affordable Housing Commission as set forth in the call of the meeting in full. Is there a motion to move the adoption? I make a motion. Second?
Second?
All right, we'll proceed. Any comments, questions, or Tim, do you want to move?
Well, I believe we have the chairman of the exploratory committee on the telephone, who I believe would like to say a few things.
Mike,
Michael?
are you there?
Yes, I'm with you, Tim.
All right, sir. Well, the floor is yours. If you could please lead us in a brief description of what you all did in the year, which I know was difficult, but it would be informative for the group.
Very good. So the proposed ordinance that's before us is the result of a recommendation from the Affordable Housing Exploratory Committee to the Board of Selectmen, and that recommendation was accepted by the board last October. Just a bit of background, the Exploratory Committee was formed about a year ago in February of 2020 and charged with doing research and making recommendations to the Board of Selectmen on how to approach affordable housing in Old Lyme going forward. And we were working on a timeline of six months to a year. The committee will be completing its work in the next few weeks and delivering a final report to the Board of Selectmen. And at that point, the committee's work will be done and the committee will sunset. Early on in the committee's work, there were some findings that led to the recommendation to form a standing commission as the successor to the temporary exploratory committee. And the most important of those findings was the existence of Connecticut General Statute Section 830J. And that statute, which was passed in 2017 after the original 830G, mandates that all towns prepare and adopt an affordable housing plan by July 2022. And that's going to be a significant body of work. The statute further calls for that plan to be updated every 5 years after the initial plan is adopted. So that's the first reason to stand up a commission. Subsequent findings by the committee really reinforced our recognition that a successor was needed to take ongoing responsibility for affordable housing planning. And those include, for example, coordination. We learned that there's a network of town regulatory and planning commissions and departments, and that includes planning, zoning, open space, and economic development, in addition to project committees like Halls Road and Sustainable Old Lyme. And all these town commissions and committees and departments touch on affordable housing or are touched by it, but none of them have it at the center of their agenda. Outside of town, there are also organizations like the Lower Connecticut River Valley Council of Governments and the Connecticut Council of Small Towns, both of which have affordable housing working groups. And it would be important for the town to have a solid connection to those organizations. The other thing we learned is affordable housing is a very active area of legislation and public policy and practice. And that needs to be tracked so that we keep abreast of what changes are going on at the regional level, at the state level, and even at the federal level, because housing and urban development is a player in the space as well. And the charge to the Affordable Housing Commission, as it's proposed, would include tracking external activity and incorporating that information into and assessments on the impact on Old Lyme into recommendations and planning. So the way the commission is set up in the ordinance as it written is essentially to serve as a planning and advisory body and as a center of expertise and communication, working through the Board of Selectmen and in coordination with the other boards and commissions and departments on matters pertaining to affordable housing. And this is similar to the way that the Open Space Commission operates. So I'll stop there, and Tim or Mary Jo or Chris, if you'd like to add anything, please do.
Any questions or comments?
Well, I'd just say to you and your committee, we thank you very much because you were extremely organized, and we're fortunate that we have your recommendations, and now here we are doing an ordinance. So thanks to all of you.
I would second Tim's comments. Thank you, Tim, and thanks to the committee, and especially for those who might be interested in carrying on when it becomes a commission. We have a lot of work to do. Much of it's required by state statute, and I appreciate all the work that's been done to set the stage for the next work that has to be completed. Thank you.
When people make a comment on the phone, would you please indicate your name for the record?
That was Mary Jo. Thank you, Tim.
Oh, okay. Good enough. Thanks.
For everybody who's on the phone or computer, just a note that if you want to take part in the voice votes, just unmute yourself for that part.
Okay, no further questions or comments. All those in favor of adopting the ordinance, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Motion is carried. Proceeding to the fourth item on the agenda is to amend ordinance 41-2 for the polling place for the town of Old Lyme.
Catherine Carter, Republican Registrar of Voters.
Would you care to move the adoption of the proposed amendment?
Yes.
Is there a second? Thank you. All right. You have the floor.
Since 2016, we have seen roughly a net gain of 800 voters in Old Lyme. After our gubernatorial race in 2018, we did receive numerous complaints that were fielded through the Secretary of State's office. The majority of them were about one being privacy and the other was parking. So at that point, we started to explore other options that we would be able to utilize for more space, more parking for voting, for the voting polls. And with the help of Region 18 and Tim Griswold.
I can hear it now.
We were able to secure the Old Line Middle School for this past presidential election. We have to thank Region 18 for all the work that they did and how helpful they were to us. And it was very successful in all regards. And we're looking forward to being able to have more space and more parking to make it easier for everyone in Old Lyme to be able to vote.
Any further comments or questions? I'll take the privilege of the floor as the moderator. I'm not supposed to do this, but it's long past due. Having sat at the Cross Lane Firehouse moderating elections for probably 20 years, I can tell you it was a chore, and not a fun chore. Although seeing everybody in town, it was great, but the facility was beyond belief. So I heartily endorse this.
Thank you.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 And that is our last item on the agenda, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. Move. Any objection? Hearing none, this meeting shall stand adjourned.
Thank you. All right. I'm trying to hit that red button on the